Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. So, I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. So, I actually was in the process of recording on my podcast on Acast, and somehow it bumped me off. So, say, okay, well, for the reading for today, I'm gonna go ahead and record video presentation. So again, this podcast or YouTube channel, Magic Mind Millennium, is for entertainment purposes. So basically, the question for today was, who would win this presidency? I honestly feel as though there's going to be a lot of drama as it has been regarding this presidency, and I'm trying to get some lighting in here. It's not the lighting and it's not favorable. Okay. Regarding the presidency, the first two cards I pulled was Valor. If you're able to view these cards, let's see if I hold them up here. You may not be able to view the cards, but just trust my what I say. Ace of Wands and Valor. Whoever this the potential candidate for 2025 is someone I feel who has not had the opportunity prior to, meaning this is someone new. So, based on the cards, that's what it's showing that whoever this person is that will win the presidency for this up and coming year will be someone who had not been in that position before. All right. All right. So then I proceeded to pull this card here. You're not even able to view this card, which has the number 10 there. 10 has a lot to do with end of life cycles, beginning of new cycles. It has ruin there. Ruin. I honestly feel as though, reason being that this person will be put in, not necessarily put in, but that this person will win this presidency because it's going to tell on the hearts of certain individuals, certain spirits, and how they truly feel about their mate. Um, so then I proceeded to pull the Queen of Swords, which I think is the candidate, right? The Queen of Swords, the painter, someone who's a visionary, someone who seen this vision even in their youth years in the past. The reason why I said I feel as though it's going to tell on the hearts because I have the number 9 there, the cruelty card, and I do apologize. And let's see, maybe I should. Nope, because it's not even pointed that direction. It's going to tell on the hearts of how one feels about one's mate, is what I mentioned. I have the universe card turn in the reverse, which oftentimes I get the universe card to me is a representation of karma. Like what goes around comes around, but it's in regards to um I pulled out the lovers card when I mentioned that. I did a spread, and the lovers card came out. Hermit. I think and then I get the emperor card. I honestly feel as though revelation is going to come to many people by what this presidency is what it shows me, and it's going to tell on the hearts of how one people feels about who they profess to care about, right? I showed that there's a lot of emotions involved in this election. And again, it's going to tell on the hearts of many who feel a certain way. So I have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Let's go ahead and proceed with my poster board. So the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Bear with me just a moment. Mentions bad luck, disruptions, delays, fearful, powerless, and stagnation. I think as a result, some things are going to manifest. And again, I want to mention that this podcast and this YouTube channel, Magic Mind Medium, is for entertainment purposes, meaning these are my opinions. I'm just going off of what presents to me in regards to the cards, okay? The next card I get is the Hangman card in reverse. Let's proceed to pull out what it has here regarding the Hangman in reverse. Missed opportunity, indecisive, unable to let go, delay. So I honestly feel as though it may very well be a long lasting cruelty, targets, misogyny, sexism, even that's going to come out of what transpired in terms of this election based on the cards. And basically, it's to show how one feels, if that makes sense to anybody, how one truly feels. Um, is what it lets me know, just based on the cards. Like it will be revealed. I have power. So I think it's to show how one really feels in terms of power, like a need to control, because not wanting to have certain energy spaces and power. I get oppression here. That's what I feel. I think this is what the fear is. Someone feels that their karma will come back around, if that makes sense to anybody. I'm going to use these new cards that I just got. These are called the Divine Celestial Tarot cards. So basically, that's what I think the whole thing is in terms of this presidency, is to tell on how certain energy spaces and spirits respond to certain authority. I get the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Keeping and maintaining boundaries and persistence. So I think this is a message from Source. Certain energies are not favorable for you. It also has perseverance there as well. Certain energy spaces are not favorable for you. Um, Based on what I gather regarding the cards. And certain things have to be put in motion to where people can see it. Because many people don't believe anything people tell them, right? So we have to slow it down, put it in motion, put it into part to where they can see. In other words, as they say, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Alrighty. The next card that it gives me is 10 of Coins. I also discovered that my Mrs. Cleo's Power Deck card has 2 of the 3 of Swords, where the man is laid down and the 3 daggers going in his heart. I just discovered that yesterday, and I had these cards probably going on 2 years now. All right. So the 10 of Swords has legacy there. I do I believe legacy in this situation is to document certain energy spaces in history so one would know. All right, so Ten of Coins, which is the same as Ten of Pentacles, leaving a legacy, retirement, inheritance. So I think this is basically what it is, setting the ground roots for um, what's to come in history. You know what? Before awakening the day, as I mentioned, I oftentimes get these impressions. Excuse me, I do apologize. It kept mentioning about extension, not extension, but extinct, EXTINCTION. I guess that's the correct way of spelling it. And what that representation of extension of certain energies is God giving you discernment about um, why certain people act as though they do. They haven't been around too long. And I'm not saying this to be offensive to anyone. I'm not. But it kept referencing to the animals. And while we have certain animals that, I think this is my synopsis. Um, Certain animals are made up. Like they are only here for a certain amount of time. I think we as physical beings are the same way. And when there's a need to depopulate or extinct certain things, whether it be ethnicity, race, gender, languages, even, this is God giving you the ability to see is to fight to the fittest, to fight to stay around, stick around, and stay alive. Is what it lets you know. All right. So the next card I get is this one, Page of Cups, and it has ambitions. Ambitions there. So the Page of Cups mentions a studious kid, new love, volunteer work. I honestly feel as though when people don't feel relevant, um, it will foster certain behaviors in them when they don't feel like they matter and they're overlooked and no one give much reverence to them. This is why. It's the fight to stay alive. Is, in other words, a visionary, seeing things, in the future, 100 years down the line, 200, 500, even 1,000 years. This is stick around, stay alive, stay around. Alrighty. So some notable things are going down in history, is what I feel. Notable things in history going down in history. And if you pay attention, history oftentimes what? Repeat itself. So I do believe this coming 2025 year, and maybe some things that are going to happen unfavorable. I mean, that's the cycle of life. It's going to be some things to transpire unfavorably. Civilization, it's just showed me civilization. This is, if you go back, such as like an archaeologist or anthropology, where they go in and they discover ancient civilizations that are no longer around. And what that is God's way of letting you know that anybody could be a Atlantis, which is the lost civilization, and that's a representation that certain spirits that are here hasn't been around long, and they're trying to extinct or obliterate certain people in history, if that makes sense to anybody. So I get Seven of Swords, and I said this before, and I guess it was a need to re-emphasize. Um, so the Seven of Swords has trickery. So by way of deception, it lets me know that um, that's what the need for psychology or even reverse psychology is to deceive certain energy spaces um, and doing some things to harm you because of that knowledge, that revelation that has come to them. All right, so I have Seven of Swords, theft, betrayal, dishonesty, running away. So I think this right here lets me know that certain things was written and rewritten, even to delude certain population and subpopulation, if that makes sense to anybody. All right. All righty, so let's get this one here. Two of coins, and I will be bringing this to a close in the next um, 10 minutes or so. So it says two of coins, two of coins. I was trying to see if I get some more lightning in here. Let me see if, let's turn this off. Let's see. Nope, that's a little bit better. Okay. So the two of coins, which is the same as two of pentacles, two choices, multitasking, win many options. I think the competition is by way of God, to tell you the truth, if that makes sense to anybody. I think this is by way of God, putting on for God. You know, I said before, if he feels as though there's no relevance in having you around, he'll call you home. He will call you home, if that makes sense to anybody. Eight of coins. Again, this podcast YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. Have dedication, eight of coins, which is essentially the same as eight of pentacles. So it mentions mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. I think what that is put well, yeah, eight of coins is this one. So I feel as though that's why one will put pride into what one does and pride into staying around. The need to put pride in staying around. And when they see that you don't have any interest in staying around, he will put the spirit in them to set you up to transition you away from this space. All right? The next card I get is two of coins, which has flexibility there. Okay, now this is what I was reading. Two choices, multitasking, weighing many options. I'm going to say this is by way of God. Like we are voting for one candidate versus the next, but ultimately it is God's way of showing how one thinks, how one feels about oneself. If you feel like you are relevant enough, and if you don't feel relevant enough, no one is going to hold your hand. He will put the spirit in them to take you away from this space. That's why there's that need for competitiveness and to stick around. And once you have been around long enough, you will get that sensibility, is what source is wanting me to convey. Now, many people may beg to differ. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull out my tarot with keywords, which are essentially the same cards. These cards here, I wouldn't need to look at my board, my poster board. Oh gosh. And again, I will be bringing this to a close within the next 10 minutes, I'll say. So this is to those who may be wondering why people vote versus not. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Once that revelation has come to you, this is why. It's not necessarily that they don't feel as though they don't matter, but that sensibility will come to you that this is the true nature of why we are voting. That revelation comes to some early on in life. All right. So I have the Three of Cups. It says celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, community, happiness. I think the key word here is community. It mentions you're entering a happy time in your life. You may be connected with a long lost friend, relative, or loved one, or you may be celebrating something important to you. Spend quality time with the people most important to you. So I think the key word here is with the ones that are most important to you. So um, again, solidarity, that need to connect with those within your lineage. And God giving you this sensibility about certain energy spaces. And we're not concerned about your own personal needs. This is just the way it is. And if you don't follow suit, some unfavorable things may transpire. This is by way of God. I'm just relaying the message. And you will take heed to warnings, is what it lets me know. Because, like I said, all right, I'm gonna read the. I have the Devil card. It was in the reverse, so I'm gonna read it as such in reverse. It says releasing limiting beliefs. And this is by way of source. I'm just halfway shuffling the cards because I'm not much of a shuffler. Exploring dark thoughts. So, in other words, it's going to show you the thoughts of those who are not favorable, those who may be plagued with mental challenges and um, battles in their mind from the dark side. Detachment, freedom, restoring control, resentment, lack of will. So I think this is what energy is going to come into the forefront once this all, once it's said and done, once the election has happened and we tally up the votes and the candidate is elected. It's going to reveal certain energy spaces. I honestly feel as though, based on the cards, take note of spiritual attachments. I have Saturn here. Let me get my guide. And again, we're going to bring this to a close within the next 5 minutes. Saturn says, I achieved. The key words has honor, wisdom, ambition, structure, discipline, restriction. So you want to take note of these things. 10th house. Let's go to the houses. It also has Capricorn here. This is some energy you may see present itself. Steadfast, organized, cautious, insecure, detached, uptight, or maybe this is what. Okay, so the 10th house is house of career. So it may be some challenges in regards to, I think this is what, based on what I have here, I think this is um, what the fear is. Like someone may feel as though their um, career or job will be taken away, or their something financial will be taken away, and you will proceed to see that once this presidential election come into place. That's what it lets me know. Like somebody's feeling like something is being taken away. It kept mentioning extension. I'm not talking about extension, like an extension cord. Extinction, I guess that's the proper way of saying it. Meaning something that's been around for some time being let go, is what it lets me know. Um, the next card I get is the Five of Wands. Competition, debates, rivalry, conflict, disagreement, strife, tension, territorial, clashing egos, pettiness. So if someone is at, God forbid, death's corner, death's door, they're not going to be, they're not going to do it in such a way. Like if I know you're trying to get rid of me, I'm not going to just sit there and allow you to get rid of me type of energy, if that makes sense. Um, so it lets me know Aries. This energy could be coming from Aries. Those who are Aries, and I don't know all of the signs, so these here are the fire signs. Aries, courageous, passionate, direct, naive, aggressive, egotistical, rules the house of self. So these are headstrong individuals who may be a little bit of selfishness. Leo is the next one. Vivacious, brave, protective, controlling, stubborn, and vain. Rules the fifth house of pleasure. So these energy spaces may be those who are sexual or even sensual. This is what I feel as though a lot of that energy is coming from. The fire signs is what it lets me know. So I asked it to reveal itself, and this is what the revelation I have. Sagittarius, optimistic, versatile, moral, and irresponsible, tactless, laziness. Rules the ninth house of philosophy. So these type of energies I feel are more or less like double talkers or fast talkers, right? They like to play on your psychology. So these energy spaces will be coming towards you come in 2025 once this presidency candidate is elected. All right. So it's going to present itself. Now let me proceed to read the cards. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring this to a close. Tensions are high, and you're in the midst of a conflict, competition, or change that is impacting your ability to move forward. You and the others involved are unable to find common ground. So there may be some clash in personalities. So you will want to be around those who you can mesh with, those who you are competitive with. Everyone is fighting to be heard again, and yet no one is listening. Calm your storm and listen to what the others have to say, even though it may not be easy to do. Try to be open and encourage productivity. Exactly. So, the ruling of the philosophy is going to be a whole bunch of rhetoric and side talk and double talk and all of this, and nothing is being produced out of that. Where you have company, quote unquote, that sees these things, right? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to conclude this episode of Magic Mind Medium Tarot. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, or topic for a future show, or you want to read and comment below, have a second one for that.